Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Ormark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today we're looking at Dove of Hope again. Really love this stamp set and dies. The dies are just to die for. Detailed Dove dies. You can get it as a bundle and beautiful for Christmas time, and we will be doing a lot, but as I keep saying, I'm trying to show you different ideas to be able to use stamp sets right the way throughout the year. As always, if you want to get anything, there will be links below so that you can go across and choose what you want. The dies, let me just turn them over and show you. They are just beautiful. You have the lovely little detailed bird, and then you have the wings, so you've got the inside of the wings, so you can do it in different colours, and then you've got the really detailed filigree wing. You've got outlines to do these two. You've got this lovely little piece which cuts out sort of spriggy things, and you've got the little tiny pieces here, so if you wanted to make it mistletoe, wanted to make it holly, you could do so, or any other berries actually, and you can make some wreaths and things with it, and we will be doing that later on, but not in this one. This one I wanted to do a bird, and obviously these are doves, but they could be any other bird that you wanted really. And what we're going to do is, I've already cut it out, we're going to do something which is a bird in a nest idea. So that's what we're starting with, and we will be cutting out this piece, this piece, this piece, and the little fan tail as well. So I'm going to put these out of the way. I have done the die cutting first because you don't want to see me, you know, putting something through a die cutting machine. If you've got a die cutting machine, you know exactly how you use it. So I've done the pieces already, and the one we're using I've stuck together, but I will show you the pieces we've got because this is going to be another one. So we have, this is the little bird, and you can see you've got some beautiful embossing detail on there as well, around the little tail and around sort of the top of the head, which is rather nice. This is the detailed wing, and this I've cut the base of this one out in Flirty Flamingo, and you just literally put one on top of the other, and then you've got your wing, and then we've got the little piece that you can put it down on the tail, and that will give you the really lovely tail as well. So you can have the bird in flight, you can put the wings up like this. You can do two wings, and you can have, you know, a bird in flight coming down this way with the wing up the other way as well. You can then put the wing, if you take this little ridge piece here, put the wing across and have it down, and put the little bird facing sort of this way. You can have it so it's actually resting, and that's how we're going to do this one. So you need to, I will show you the one that I've completed. The bird is going to end up looking like this. Now I've done this one in soft seafoam, which coordinates with the ink pad. And you can see how you've just got the little tiny bit of the fantail coming down, but the bird then looks as if it's actually lying down, which is what I wanted. So it's going to be resting on a nest. Now, the other die that we were talking about was the little spriggy piece, and I've die cut a few of those out so you can see how lovely they are. So we can quite easily, which we will be doing later on, you can put these together and you can make yourself a really rather lovely sort of wreath, which we will do. But also, if you take, now I've taken a green and I've taken a brown, because what I want to do is I want to create a nest. So if we put one sort of down that way and one up this way, we're going to have like an oval piece to make a little nest. So that's the idea behind it. So matte piece in your soft seafoam, card base to go in over the top like this, And then we are going to put the nest down in here. Now, I wanted it to be brown and green, so you would see the two different colours of this. So I want one to be sort of up that direction and one to be up that direction, so we get that sort of nest look. So we need to take some wet glue, and again this is going to be a quite simple, plain, clean and simple card. We can fancy it up, but I think it's going to look lovely just plain. Sometimes when you've got some beautiful pieces, you don't need to do a huge amount more with them. You can just use those pieces and they stand alone beautifully. So we're just taking a bit of glue on this one. I want the green first. So the green is going to come in like this, down on the bottom, just with a little bit of a ridge on there. So that's going to be stuck down. Then we're going to take the brown, any brown you want. So any little scrap pieces that you've got left over, you can do them both in brown, you can do them in different colours. You can build it up with several, but I think two just makes it look nest-like. So a bit of glue on there. And then this one is then going to come up so that it comes down on there. And we want this bit to just come up a little bit more, so you've got that just sort of a little piece of, so it looks like a nest, one piece coming in over the top. And I think it's really rather pretty, that sort of detailed part in there just makes it look rather nice. So I'm just going to put it on here. I'm not going to stick all of these pieces down. Then we've got the bird. So the bird is going to rest in on the nest, and I'm going to do him in dimensionals. So let me have a look at my pieces of dimensionals I've still got left, and these are from the foam sheets that we've got now, and I always use my dimensionals that I've got left. So we've got some of those and we've got some of these foam pieces, and we'll put those down, just cut them up a bit, so we've then got some pieces to go on. So it's always that waste not, want not with me. That should be enough, I think. Oh, before we do that, what I want to do is, if I put the bird down like this, you're going to lose his head a little bit inside everything else. So I want to just add a little bit of detail to it. So I need to take my, excuse me, because I'm going to move my light up just a tad to get my sponge daubers out, because they happen to be right underneath the light. And so I'm going to get the soft sea foam one that I've got out, and then we'll open the ink pad up, which is the soft sea foam, and then I'm just going to go round the outside with the sponge dauber, just to give a little bit of definition. Now I don't want it to come too far down onto the actual body, so it's literally just to give it that little bit of extra definition, which means that it will just pop a little bit more. Okay, so if we put that down now, you can see how it literally just pops just a little bit. Just going to put a little bit more on the head. Like everything, when you start with sponge daubers and things, you can always take colour away, but you can't add colour in. And in fact, I might just do just a little bit of just gentle sponging, just to the body, and just that little bit in on the head. So not a lot, but just just a little bit. So again, it's just given it just a little bit of definition in there. Okay, that I think will be perfect. So you've taken it from, it's just given it that extra dimension. If I show you this bird, so this is the bird without, and you can see how you do tend to lose it. This is the bird now. We've just added a little bit of definition to it. So I think that's going to work perfectly. Okay, so we've got this on here. I am going to put this on here. It's going to annoy me if it's rolling about all over the place. I don't often put them on camera purely because I do spend most of my time cutting pieces out of my bases because I don't like wasting anything and you can't see them. However, on this occasion we're just going to put it down on here. So that's our base in, which is nice and straight. Then our little bird is going to go in with the dimensionals. So we should have one down on here, one sort of in the middle, and we'll take this little one right up by the top of his head. I'd have to do it that way around. There we go. Then I can take the other sides of them off. The dimensionals on the foam adhesive sheets are actually a little bit deeper, so they work really quite well. So we can then tuck our little bird just in on the nest like that and put him up, which looks rather beautiful. And then I've got a sentiment which is taken from the postage, and I think that will work down on there. I'm not sure whether I want it quite as big as that. I might take it down a bit. To take it down a bit, yes, I am going to take it down a bit. So let's just take this down on there, and then this is going to have to be just a little bit smaller, so I can put that on first and then just take it down so I haven't got quite so much of a border around it. I tend to glue my pieces down first when I'm just doing little scrappy pieces like this, and then I can line it up exactly where I want it for the top, like that, and then I can cut it just straight down there like that, and then we can take this piece along here. Sometimes I measure it, but I don't always measure it, and if I'm doing it like this, just a little bit left, then I don't tend to measure it. Okay, so that's going to be our sentiment, and we can put that up so that comes in like that, just over the bird. I think will work, or I could tuck it in underneath. Shall I tuck it underneath? Yes, I think I'll tuck it underneath because I think that will look better, or I could put it up on there. Oh, now decisions. Where am I going to put it? I always like to sort of play around with ideas and things and see where I think things look the best. Let's put it onto our base. It actually looks quite good up at the top, doesn't it? Just sort of tucked in a little bit on there. Sending love your way. However, I've put it so that it, or we could tuck it just so you've got it all down at the bottom. Now I think it's going to look good up here, but I am going to put some little jewels and things on, I think, to just add a little bit of something to it, because I think just like that it's pretty, but it could do with just a little bit of extra. So I've got some of our rhinestones, which will be quite pretty. So this I'm going to put on with dimensionals, but I've got these pieces which are the side pieces, so I can put those ones on. They are slightly not quite as high as the others, so we'll pop the dimensionals on here like that. Take those pieces out. And as I say, I'm going to put this in on the top here to have the same amount of distance in on there. So sending love your way on there, and then we'll just add some rhinestones in to just give a little bit of sparkle. You could add something in for the eye, but I think that that'll make it look a bit cartoonish. So I'm going to leave that completely, but I am going to have just some of the rhinestones in. So let me just, I don't think I want any of the really big ones. I think I will have the second size down. Oops. So we can have one up here. We can have a smaller one. Whoops. That on, smaller one down on here, like that. And then another small one. Just in on there. There, I think there will work like that. Okay, so that looks really nice like that, I think. Sometimes it's one of those things you want to add and you want to add and you want to add, and sometimes it looks lovely just with not too much in at all. The only thing that I might add to it, which is something that I do sometimes, is maybe something like, which is very neutral, and I wouldn't add it now that I've actually done it, but you could put a little bit of, you know, linen thread or something like that in on there, that would just add, you know, a little bit of something in there if you wanted to. But I think it probably goes okay as it is. Because I've already stuck that on, I might put a little bit of linen thread in on there and just tie a bow at that bottom corner. We'll have to see. But for an idea for a card that, as I say, is not Christmassy, you've got a little bird on a nest, very pretty neutral colours, but just with a little bit of brown in on there, and using the lovely Dove of Hope and the die sets, which are just beautiful, which are the detailed dove dies. So another card for you. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching me. As always, stay safe and stay well and be kind. Bye bye.